Today marks the 97th anniversary of when the Anzacs first landed in Gallipoli. Almost a century later, thousands gathered in Cranmer Square for this year's dawn service to honour those lost and those serving at war. Leela Fraser was at this morning's service. She's with us now. Leela.
Well, the Anzac dawn service is usually held in Cathedral Square, but of course that's still out of bounds, so they had to find another location. This morning's service was held in Cranmer Square, which is still a few blocks away from the city centre, but as close as they could get. People started gathering at Cranmer Square at around 5:30. They were there to remember those who've died over the years. Young and old gathered to remember. But long before the sun rose, 89-year-old Bob Sanders was up early.
This is the most important one to me. That's the prisoner of war camp.
The World War II veteran getting ready to march in the parade.
I'm doing that in respect to the ones who cannot march because they're no longer alive. And this is in memory for them.
Bob Sanders was about 20 when he went to war. He was captured in Italy, then kept as a prisoner of war in Germany. He's been to nearly every dawn service since he came home.
Anzac Day is a very important day to us. It's letting us know and remember what took place.
From lives lost almost a century ago to those still serving today, they are not forgotten.
Nor the years condemned. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Among those paying tribute was the Governor-General, with a message to the people of Christchurch.
We join with our veterans to recall the service of those who have served in the defence of our country, its values, the democratic freedoms we enjoy, and our way of life.
Words and sentiments the old soldiers appreciate.
Well, it's the most important thing in our lives, and we look forward to it every year. And I'll come here if even I have to crawl.
For a city still fighting its own battles, it's a day to remember and reflect.
The things that have happened in the city help us perhaps relate a little more to the things that our grandparents and others have gone through.
As the service drew to a close, it was a time to remember not only those lost, but the 400 Kiwis currently serving overseas.
Leela, I understand there was a brunch for some veterans after the service.
Well, yes, that's right, Chris. Bob Sanders and other veterans were invited to a special brunch with the Governor-General and the Mayor. Now, the idea was to bring people from across generations together, so the local Scouts, Red Cross and youth groups were also invited. This is the first time something like this has been done, and Bob Sanders told me he was honoured to be invited and hopes centres across New Zealand will do the same thing for next Anzac Day.
Thank you, Leela.